Hey guys, Pedro here to do an album review, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about a band from Finland called Suotana. The name of the album is Land of the Ending Time, out May 25th through Reaper Entertainment. Now, this is an album that really, to me, felt like they were trying to paint a picture of how it is to live in Finland during the winter months. How beautiful that winter scenery is, but how deadly that winter scenery is. And then how that world, how that nature, how that environment really affects those that live in it, animals and people alike. So that was the vibe, that was the impression that I had from this album, from listening to this album and paying really deep attention to the lyrics, because the lyrics of this album, I feel, they're very important. It's really important that you really pay attention to the lyrics. And I really felt that that was the image that they were trying to come across with. They're really trying to show how it is that such a beautiful environment can also be so deadly, can be so dark, but there is beauty in death. And I think they really painted a really clear picture of how it is to be a person living in such an environment. Now, the album itself has 9 tracks, it's 47 minutes in length. The first track is an instrumental track, it's called Alku. It's an instrumental track that is actually part of the second song, Troutrace. It's basically the melody and the riff that becomes Troutrace is Alku. So Alku, even though it's 2 separate tracks and it's an instrumental track intro, it really belongs to Troutrace. It's really part of that song. The two of them really merge as one. And that's how you should look at it. You should really look at these two as one. Now, overall, this album, this is a melodic death metal band, but you can totally tell that there's a lot of different influences there. There is some melodic black metal influences there, some power metal influences there. I would even go as far as say there are some symphonic influences there, because you really feel throughout this album the dynamic of that storytelling of how it is to live in such a harsh environment really comes across, and the different dynamics that they give you and those little nuances that they give the songs and the lyrics that really break the mold, if you will, of what it would be your typical melodic death metal album, and really give those different nuances and really give life to each song individually. I really feel like there's a couple of aspects that I really have to mention. One is Tuomo's vocals. I really feel that his vocals are almost like typical black metal vocals and really work well, because the amount of melody that these guys put on each single track, specifically from the keyboards have a lot of melody, almost a symphonic element to it. So that kind of melody in the music, with the guitar adding melody to it, it really needed something to break that and give a little bit of darkness, a little bit of ominous, a little bit of a dark vibe to the song. And I really feel that Tuomo's vocals really do that. He has an incredible tone to his voice. His harsh vocals are really cool. He really has a different delivery to it. And he's able to use that delivery of his vocals to give the amount of darkness, the amount of harshness really needed to the songs to counterbalance the amount of melody there are in each single song. So I really like that dynamic. I really think is really well played out, and it's really good. The only part that I would say it's a little bit of a negative to me is that sometimes the keyboard melody overshadows the other instruments around it. And I really feel some songs could really use the drums more in the forefront and not as much on the background. And I really felt that in certain songs that really, that really called for some darkness, it really called for those drums to be more on the forefront and not as much the melody of the keyboards. Because in those songs, really, the only aspect of darkness coming in is really the vocal delivery of Tuomo. His vocal delivery really gives the darkness to the songs and that ominous vibe to the songs. But I really feel in certain cases, a little bit of the drums more on the forefront, not as much in the background, would really help that delivery. Now, as far as favorite songs, it was really hard for me to pick favorite songs. But I have to pick, I'm going to pick 2, I picked 3 songs. 2 of them, and I'll explain these 2 how I picked them, because there is a little bit of a little twist to it. The first one is Sorrowl. It's the 3rd song of the album. It's a great song. I mean, it has a great keyboard melody. The vocals in that song, to me, almost felt like a black metal. Once again, it almost felt like the lyrics and the way the delivery of the lyrics were, it felt to me almost like a black metal song. And what changed it a little bit was the dynamic and the melody of the keyboards. Those 2 aspects really gave it more of a theatrical vibe, almost like a cinematic vibe to the song. It made the song bigger than it really is. It gave volume to the song. But his vocal delivery in this song, the way the lyrics work in this song, there's a part that almost sounds like there's a narrator singing, but telling a story like as he's singing. It gave a very black metal vibe to it, almost like talking in the third person vibe. Really cool. I really like the way they incorporated that, because that song is so melodic. There's so much melody and volume to it. Like I said, almost feels symphonic at times. It really needed something dark. It really needed something to create a little bit of a twist, to give it a little bit more life. And his delivery, his vocal tone really gives it that. Now, one of the parts that I really like about this album is that sometimes songs bleed one into the other. And what I mean by that, bleeding into the other, is that the end of one song becomes the beginning of the next song. And then that song's ending becomes the beginning of the following song. I really like the way they did that, because it gave the album fluidity. It gave the album life. It almost like a river finding its way. Water always finds the path of least resistance. So it almost felt to me like that, like nature taking its course, finding the path of least resistance. So I like the way they created songs that bleed into one another. And that's the reason I picked the second song. My second favorite song is Into the Ice, because Sorrow bleeds into the ice. So it's really, the two of them are really interconnected. And the storytelling of one really bleeds into the storytelling of the other. Into the Ice is an absolutely epic song, incredible solo. And to me, this song is more of a melodic death metal song than Sorrow is. It just has more of those kind of components. It has a more of a thickness to it. There's a little bit more to it. It also has a couple of key elements that to me sound a little bit folk. There's a little bit of a guitar melody in this specific song, that especially in the chorus, around the chorus part, in the chorus, there's a little bit of a guitar melody in this song that really gave a little bit of a smell of folk. Not too much. It's not a folk song by any means, but it really gave it a smell of folk. And I really like the way the way they constructed this song, specifically the ending of this song. The way the guitar and the keyboards work towards the end of this song, it's absolutely incredible. But especially if there's a song where the keyboard does an incredible job, is in this song. The keyboard at the end, the notes of the keyboard at the end, almost like ice breaking and water falling. It gives you this sense of ending, the sense of life dripping away. It has such a dark feel to it, but it's incredible because it really wraps a song that has so much beauty, that has so much melody, and the rap at the end, it's beauty, but there's death in it. There's really a strong stench of death into the way the keyboard really fades out with this song, with feeling almost like life dripping away, like I was saying. Absolutely beautiful song. And then to round up my three favorite songs, I have to mention Autumn Awaits. This song, first of all, let me say this. Incredible, catchy chorus. I really like the chorus of this song. It really was... It really had the perfect hook, and it was really the glue that brought this song together. But this song is so layered, it's like an onion. The more you peel it, the more layers you find. It's absolutely incredible. So it starts off with an acoustic guitar, and that acoustic guitar gives the song almost a black metal vibe to it, gives it a very dark vibe to it. Even though the beauty, it really gives you that sense of beauty in nature, but the beauty could be deadly as well, right? So this start with this acoustic guitar really gives that black metal vibe to it. Then the song picks up its tempo, almost like a power metal song at times, really fast tempo to the song. Then it has an incredible guitar solo in the middle of the song. Incredible guitar solo. One of the best guitar solos in this album is in this song, in my opinion. And then later on in the song, an acoustic solo that once again brings that darkness, that ominous, that death to the song. So to me, this is a song, more than perhaps any other, really represents the title of the song, Autumn Awaits. Because with autumn, really comes life and death. You know what I mean? It's really a season of life and death. So I really feel that this song, the way it was structured with the acoustic guitar to start off the song, then the more faster tempo song, more almost like a power metal song with a really over the top guitar solo, and then adding that second solo, that acoustic guitar solo to it, it really gave the song a feeling of struggle between life and death, and almost a feeling of what it is really to expect autumn and that season and that time of the year. This song really, musically and lyrically, it's a perfect song because it really represents the title of the song, and it really encompasses that struggle between life and death. I absolutely love this song. All right, guys, this is it for me. This is a very good album, an incredible album. I really enjoyed listening to this album. It was a surprise to me because it was my first time listening to this band, so I really liked where they went with this album. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys have to say? Do you guys know this band? Do you guys heard the album? What are your thoughts? I want to hear it. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be commenting back because that's how this works. All right? Take care, guys.